Hi, I'm Jeff Murrah, and I want to welcome you to True Texas History, where today I'm going to be talking about the Texans at the Battle of Tunnel Hill, Georgia. Because it was on this date, November 25th, 1863, that the Battle of Tunnel Hill, Georgia took place. Now, to go ahead and put things in perspective, at that point, the Union forces had managed capturing many areas in East Tennessee, and among them they finally captured Chattanooga. But outside of Chattanooga, if you've ever been there, you have this mountain outside of town known as Lookout Mountain. And although the mountain is high, there's a ridge that comes off the mountain and goes down across all the way over into, I believe, Alabama. And that's known as Missionary Ridge. And the forces had to find a way to capture that because that was a major obstacle. Now, on this day, November 25th, Grant went ahead and launched his offensive. And part of the offensive, the one against Missionary Ridge, was successful for him. Now, the one against Tunnel Hill, that's where it gets interesting because Tunnel Hill, for the most part, was being held by Texas troops. And these Texas troops, they put up quite a fight. It's one of those legendary battles that is seldom mentioned in the history books, but should be. Because you had men in the 6th and 7th Texas Infantry. In the 6th, those were men from Lavaca, DeWitt County, Hays, Gonzales, and Travis. Can you believe someone from Travis County would actually do that? You had your 7th Texas Infantry from around the Waco area, 10th, which is Bosque, Milam, Fannin, Harris, San Augustine counties, the 17th and 18th Texas Dismounted Cavalry, and 24th, 25th Texas Dismounted. And they were from the Fort Bend area, Harris County, Montgomery, Fayette County. So these were men from many parts of Texas. And it's a shame that with what they did that day, that so many of these communities want to remove their remembrance. But what happened? There were several attacks against their positions. And these men were determined to hold on at all costs. You see, many of them earlier in the war had been surrendered at Arkansas Post, had been prisoners in northern POW camps, finally re-released. They came back, reorganized their regiments, and this time they were determined they were not going to surrender, but this time they were going to maintain their honor. And that was the attitude. They were put under the command of General Patrick Cleburne, which Cleburne, Texas is named after. I know that's a strange thing. Why do we call it Cleburne, but his name was Cleburne? That's one of those weird oddities. But what happened in this engagement, the Union forces, they attacked, were pushed back. They attacked again and were pushed back. And this went on during the day until the Texans ran out of ammunition. They had no more bullets to defend their position and force the Union forces back. Fortunately, they were resourceful enough to go ahead and use rocks. So when the Yankee soldiers were coming up the hill was steep enough to where they could toss down rocks and cannonballs and anything they can get their hands on, and they pushed them down again. And by them maintaining their position there at Tunnel Hill, it saved the Army from a total, what would have been a totally embarrassing day. But the men in those regiments made a valiant stand because, it's one thing when you're in warfare and you've got a rifle and you can shoot. It's another thing when somebody's coming charging at you. Their gun is working, and they may even have a bayonet attached to it, and all you've got is rocks. The tenacity of those men still amazes me to this day. In fact, one of the commanders, I may have to do a video on him, was Roger Q. Mills. And Roger Q. Mills took a lot of he was a Texas politician after the war, took a lot of fascinating stands when he was in the United States Senate. And he's also one of the reasons why Prohibition did not happen in Texas even sooner. He was a big one on preserving individual freedom. But I wanted to go ahead and take some time and talk about the Battle of Tunnel Hill, make you aware of it, because it is another one of those battles where Texans distinguish themselves in a way that often doesn't get talked about. And if you're in one of those counties, let me go through the list here. Let's see, we have Bexar, Wise County, Denton County, Red River County, Dallas County, Van Zandt, Harrison, McLennan, Bosque, Milam, Fannin, St. Augustine, Lavaca, DeWitt, Hayes County, which is where I'm from, Gonzales, Travis County, Fort Bend, Montgomery, Fayette, and several other counties. I'm probably leaving a few out, but it was men from your counties that made a difference. So until next time, this is Jeff Murrah wishing you via con Dios. Feel free to give it a thumbs up, leave your comments, questions below. I'll be glad to get to them. Till next time, via con Dios, my friend. Goodbye.